Hello, my name is Not So Subtle Sexual Innuendos, and I'll be your captain today of this phallic aerodynamic vehicle, aka the Pussy Destroyer. Enjoy the ride. We open on our golden-haired male lead, Shindo-kun, embarrassed that he's suffering motion sickness and having his sensei that he so clearly admires to tend to him and bring him medicine. Life sure is rough for these oh-so-relatable protagonists.
Naoki-kun. Sensei.
Oh shoot, is this one of those self-aware hentais that are actually funnier than I could ever be? I hate competition. But then in the most confusing editing I've ever seen in just about any sexual Japanese cartoon, instead of getting any form of scene of the plane actually crashing, we have this lovely shot cutting to black and then to an octopus who can use electricity for whatever reason. He's naturally groping the select few females that matter. Like, don't get me wrong, how could you not put an electric octopus rape scene with a setup like this? But at the very least, maybe be a bit more subtle about your intentions. It's times like these where I really have to think long and hard about where I am in life when I'm trying to find scholarly information if octopuses and or squids actually have sexual interest in humans. We quickly get to what Castaway would have looked like if instead of a volleyball with a bloodied face, you instead get an overly sexually curious harem of just about any woman you could possibly ever want or need. Like, all this kid has to do is get a few modest fish on his makeshift spear, and they're literally all over his makeshift spear. Metaphorically speaking. But hey, at least he's being But what the heck is this little scamp up to? That doesn't seem like the time or place for shrubbery maintenance and casual is he? Ugh. So then quite a bit happens. Girls on girls, woman on boy, girl on boy, boy on girls. It's honestly quite a bit to take in and is edited in such a way that I quickly began to lose focus and was overloaded and overwhelmed by the amount I would have to censor and how literal minutes of usable footage was being taken away from me, and I couldn't do anything to stop it. But you see, the problem was that I was already one page into this script, and I am far too lazy as a content creator to stop now, or creator? I hate to be that guy, but this doesn't seem like something that would happen. I don't know, something about it doesn't seem... Also, isn't it kind of weird that after a literal plane crash, all of these girls are still like smooth-skinned and beautiful and well-maintained, like there's no... But I guess a bunch of open wounds and gashes might affect the appeal of the orgy scenes a little bit. I don't know, depends on what you're into, I don't want to judge. Just a little bit of realism would be nice. And with that, all hell breaks loose. But then again, I suppose it would be more accurate to call this heaven for my far more perverted and depraved audience, in which violation of all levels and variation occurs for the next several minutes. As if overhearing the sounds of 2D girls moaning from several hundreds of miles away, 2 weeks of just about every possible sex act later, rescue finally arrives. Back on the mainland, Naoki-kun and Sensei have continued their blossoming relationship outside of the classroom, and there are talks of a mountain trip in the future. Because what's sexier than snowstorms and hypothermia? Orgies can only keep us so warm, people. Let's be practical here. The hentai reviews giveth and the hentai reviews taketh away. Anime pornography is hit or miss in terms of entertaining, viewable content. Let's face it, they all have a single purpose that the majority accomplish, which is sex. It's simple, it's easy, and it's quick. But how they get to it, what it means for whatever narrative is set up, and how they can do things differently is where the better hentais are able to surface and stand out. This is not one of them. There There are notes of clever writing and self-awareness during the airplane scene, but as soon as that goes down, the quality goes down with it. They do almost nothing with the uninhabited island setting or the varying character archetypes. It's just senseless sex after sensual act, to the point where I simply became numb to what was occurring before me, long before this actual male lead became numb at the sheer velocity of it. There's nothing surprising or interesting, and as someone who gets as much pleasure out of hentai as I do being in a literal plane crash, this is very much a hentai that I wouldn't want to be stuck on an island with. When I'm not picking the worst hentai to review with pretty much zero footage that's safe for YouTube, I make various videos here on YouTube about anime and stuff like that.